Hey there, friends and enemies. JoPa here again, and today I want to talk about everything you need to know heading into Marvel's Midnight Suns full release. Now, if you didn't know, this is a superhero game that's going to be handled a lot differently from most of those that you might be used to. So, in this one, it's going to be a tactical turn-based game, but with cards that'll represent the abilities of your various characters. And I wanted to do this today because the final character, Hulk, was announced to be playable in the game alongside a whole list of other characters. So you're going to have Blade, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider, Iron Man, Magic, Nico Minoru, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, Wolverine, and the Hunter, who's your main character who can create, which I'm going to get into in a second. And then for the DLC, you'll have Deadpool, Morbius, Storm, and Venom. So, lots of characters to choose from. Now, you won't be able to use all of them at all the time. Essentially, you're going to have a party that you're going to be able to take into battle with you, and you're going to be able to mix and match depending on playstyle, what the environment calls for, what the mission is, whether it revolves total destruction. You'll probably have the Hulk, but there's a lot of options there. Now, starting off, what you're going to do is you're going to create a character called the Hunter, and this character is going to be completely brand new to the game, not seen in any kind of Marvel comics or movies or anything like that. So this is going to be a unique character. You're going to have a main hub that you're going to go to in between missions that's going to allow you to kind of regroup, get to know all the various superheroes as you recruit them, and upgrade, train, all that kind of good stuff that you would normally see from a main superhero location. So that's really cool as well. Once you have created your character and you started on the journey, you might want to start by watching the prequel shorts that they've released online. This gives a ton of backstory, but it's not going to be necessary if you just hop in and play the game. If you're a fan of the flavor and the lore of the universe and you want to see what Midnight Suns is and why it is completely separate from something like the MCU or Marvel's Avengers, that'll give you a good idea on why, because this is more of a fantastical, magical, darker toned kind of game and theme. So I think that's very important to keep in mind as you are playing, because it's not going to be a traditional walkthrough, good guys save the day, all that kind of good stuff. There's going to be layers to it that are going to separate it from the rest of the Marvel universe type of entertainment stuff. So if you haven't seen Marvel's Midnight Suns of the comics, it does more an occult tone that I think they've captured pretty well from what I've seen in the shorts so far. So the shorts introduce you to a bunch of the different characters, the backstory, why this game has started. Essentially, there's been some problems. The main antagonist, Lilith, lost her daughter, her child. So I'm sorry. So that's kind of the catalyst to this. Now she's seeking revenge on the world. She wants power. She wants this and that. And you're going to see they've already teased a couple of the bosses. You're going to be fighting some iconic heroes and villains that she's corrupted in the game along your adventure. So that's going to be really cool as well, because you're going to be fighting not just your normal big bad enemies that you might see in the rest of superhero games, but you're going to be fighting some heroes as well, which I think adds a nice little twist to that. So combat, you're going to see here that combat is going to be really dependent upon how you approach the battle. So moving around, you can move your characters around to get better positions, to team up with your allies, to use different abilities that coincide with each other to knock the environment into enemies, or to get the enemies knocked into the environment as well. So I think that's very important to keep in mind. Every battle is going to be a strategy where you have to be on the lookout for what you can use to take advantage of the situation, because not everything's going to be just a straightforward, I walk forward, I do my ability, and then they do their ability, and you go back and forth that way. So that's very, very important to keep in mind, I think, because I really feel like it's going to make this game require a lot of attention to detail as you're looking around the map. But my favorite thing that I've seen in the game, the moves look amazing. There's a lot of like really crazy animations for the moves that I'm a big fan of. So if you like the RPG style, like something like JRPG like Final Fantasy, when you do your big summons or something like that, you're going to see a similar effect in this game as you do all of these really cool abilities. So I like that quite a bit. Other things to keep in mind, your cards are going to be randomized as you go through, so every battle will feel different. However, you're going to collect cards as you go, just as you're going to collect heroes to add to your team as well. You're not going to start with full power. So obviously, I think most people would expect that, but that's just something to keep in mind. A character who might feel underpowered at first will eventually shine if you get the right cards, like right combos, the right teams to use together. So I think a lot of that is going to be important to keep in mind as well as you're moving through. There's going to be skins that you get for your various characters also, and yeah, the amount of potential this game has for people who want to play a superhero game that's not traditional beat 'em up, looter shooter or something like that. This one is going to be a game that I think a lot of people can really look forward to. Other than that, I am excited about the way the game is going to be played. The missions are going to be like individual quests essentially. So you're going to go through a mission and then you'll go back to your main hub and then go on a mission, go back to your main hub, in and out like that. It's not going to be an open world exploration type of game or anything like that. So don't expect a lot of exploration out in the world aside from going from location to location, battle to battle, all that kind of good stuff. The storytelling is going to happen at your base through cutscenes and your interactions with your various characters in the game. So if all of this sounds like your type of game, if there's anything else that you want to know about, if there's anything else you're curious about with this game, definitely let me know in the comments down below, because I have been looking for this game for quite some time. I'm way too excited about it, and I know a lot of people are up in the air based off their first impressions of the game and how it looks, as far as like is tactical combat, is the card game, is all of that the way that I want to play a Marvel game. For me, that's yes, but then that might not be for everyone. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be throwing up loads of Marvel's Midnight Suns content on this channel going forward, so definitely stay tuned for that. My name is JoPa. I hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you all later.